Are you struggling to create character designs that you like? Are you trying to create foods into a character design and then just end up hating it? Well, lucky for you, I have some tips and tricks to help you figure out how to make a character design from an object. There are 4 main things you need to know that I'm going to dig deeper into. Let's get into it. Rule 1. Shape. You need to look at the shape of the object you are creating into a character. You have to make sure your character matches the shape of your object. Not exactly, but similar. Like, let's take a pineapple. When you look at the pineapple, you need to look to see if they are round, oval, square, etc. When you look at the pineapple, you see it is roundish and sharp. So you have to make sure those shapes are in your character. See if it is tall or short, and make sure to add it into your character. Rule 2. Texture/detail/pattern. If you see any kind of texture or patterns, make sure to add it to your character. Like on a pineapple. Think about what patterns from the pineapple you could add to your character. Like the checkered board pattern. As you can see here, I'm adding it to my character design. Rule number 3. Color. You need to make sure the colors from the object are the main colors on your character. If you add a bunch of purple on a character design off of the pineapple, you wouldn't even be able to tell it's a pineapple character. I mean, it would be, I guess, okay, but I would not recommend too many other colors that aren't on the original object you were designing off of. And lastly, rule number 4, personality. You may think an object or thing may not have a personality, but honestly, they do. Like, think about pineapple and how it tastes. It's sweet, but also very sour and has a strong kick to it. Doesn't it sound like a personality? The personality also connects with how you will draw your character. You may be thinking, though, what about if you were making a character off of something that wasn't food? Well, for that, imagine you were creating a character off of a necklace. Let's think of the main traits of a necklace. They're shiny, thin, and delicate. Does that sound like a personality? Your character could end up being preppy, a pick-me, and self-centered. I would sure say that fits the idea of a necklace. Okay. Now I will give an example of how exactly to use these rules and how they will look in the finished product. So let's use this drawing I made of Google. The first rule, of course, is shape. And now let's look at the Google platform. When you look at it, you see that the letters are very round. Now you'll have to contribute that into your character design, which I did. See, this design has round corners on its head and tail. She has very chunky paws and tail. The second rule is texture/pattern/detail. There isn't much here, but what there is the color pattern. However, that does connect with the color rule. It is very important detail. When you look at the Google design, the pattern goes blue, red, yellow, blue, green, red. Now you have to keep that pattern in your design or it's going to look off. The third rule is color. I did go over the color pattern already, but there is more. You don't see many colors except those 4 main colors, do you? Well, you shouldn't. Look, most of the colors are grays and whites, which means your character should end up mostly having grays and whites as its main color palette. You don't want those extra 4 colors to be shoving up and ruining the rest of your design, because that would just be way too much color and it would look really weird. Lastly, rule 4, which is personality. Now, at first, you may think that Google does not have a personality, but let's think about it. Google's main thing it does is it is a research source, which can lead to your character being very smart. But Google does not have a brain, and it's kind of dumb if you don't write the correct thing in, which leads to your character lacking common sense. Google also helps you pretty much find anything, and it can do pretty much anything, which may lead to your character having many hobbies and being prideful in that. Well, that's it. I hope you found this helpful and enjoyable. If you end up using these rules to create a character design, please tag me so I can see it. Well, I hope you have a great rest of your day. Bye, guys.